Hello, everyone, or good morning or good afternoon, depending on when you're seeing this presentation. So, today I'm going to be talking about the ethical use of AI, specifically when used in technical writing. As AI tools become more common in school areas, it is really important for us to understand not just how to use them, but how to be able to use them in a responsible way. So, in this presentation, I'll be explaining how AI can support your writing, especially with things like grammar and clarification, while still making sure that your ideas stay unique and more specifically, stay your own. I'll also go over some boundaries and recommendations for using AI in a way that actually helps you improve your skills instead of replacing them. Alright, so first of all, before I get started, I want to introduce myself and some things about this class. My name is Kayla Guerra, and I'm currently a sophomore studying exercise and sports science here in Texas State, and I'm on track to graduate in spring of 2028. I'm really musically inclined, and I've played the guitar for over 11 years since I was 8 years old, and I now teach guitar and music theory as a side gig. In this class, we've done various projects over the semester, and the one that I feel helped me the most was the cover letter and resume. This helped me a lot considering I currently don't have a job and I'm trying to get into the workplace, as I wasn't really sure how to make one or more so what to put on one. So after that, I was really thankful that we had that project because it really helped me create what I think is decent resume. And now I have interviews lined up, so I'm gonna say it was because of that project. Alright, so now to start, what is generative AI? Generative AI is a type of technology that can create text ideas or responses based on prompts that the user gives it. Tools like ChatGPT are trained on large amounts of data, which allows them to generate human-like writing quickly and efficiently. Now, in technical writing, generative AI is commonly used to support the writing process by helping tasks like organizing ideas, improving sentence structure, and grammar. Now, instead of replacing the writer, it's supposed to work best as a tool that helps refine and polish the creator's work, making technical documents more professional and easier to understand. Now, my stance on AI is that I support using AI, but in a more restricted way when it comes to technical writing, because I think it helps you without taking away from what you're actually supposed to be learning. Technical writing isn't just about getting something done, but it's also about learning how to explain ideas clearly and organize information and think through what you're writing. Those skills you only build by actually doing the work yourself. And if AI is used too much, like writing full sections for you, it kind of takes away that learning process. But if you use it in a more limited way, like for fixing grammar, checking clarity, or cleaning up your writing, it can actually make your work better without replacing your effort. So I think restricting how you use AI helps you still improve your skills while getting the benefits of the tool. Now, the purpose of using AI ethically is to make sure we're still being honest and fair in our work. At the end of the day, we're expected to come up with our own ideas and actually understand what we're writing, and using AI the right way helps make sure we don't lose our responsibility by depending on it too much. It's about making sure the work we turn in still reflects our own thinking and our own efforts. When students use AI responsibly, they're still able to improve their writing skills instead of relying on AI to do everything for them. For example, using it to fix grammar or make sentences clearer can help you learn from your mistakes and see how to improve. But if you rely on it too much, you miss out on practicing those skills yourself. So when it's used the right way, AI becomes something that supports your learning and helps you grow instead of replacing the work you're supposed to be doing. The first article I'll be referencing is the American Physiological Association. They explain that AI can be a helpful tool in early and routine stages of research and writing, especially for tasks that are repetitive or time consuming. These include organizing ideas, summarizing information, and improving the overall structure of writing. AI can make the writing process more efficient, allowing students and researchers to focus more on critical thinking and content development. However, the article also emphasizes that AI has limitations and should not replace human judgment. AI can sometimes produce incorrect or misleading information, including false citations. Because of this, writers must carefully review and verify all AI generated content and remain responsible for the final work. Ethical use requires transparency, accuracy, and maintaining control over the writing process. Now, to support that article, the University of Kansas released Using AI Ethically in Writing Assignments. KU explains that using AI in writing is not simply allowed or not allowed, but exists on a continuum of use. AI can be used at different stages of the writing process, including brainstorming ideas, organizing, structure, formatting, summarizing, and giving feedback. At the same time, the article emphasizes that students are responsible for their own work and should use AI in ways that support learning rather than replace their effort. Submitting AI generated work as your own or using AI when it is not allowed is considered academic misconduct. Ethical use focuses on improving your skills, being transparent, and maintaining control over your final product. Why is it important to be transparent? Well, being transparent about AI use is really important because it shows honesty in your work. If you're using AI in any way, you should be open about it and make sure you're following your instructor's guidelines. Every class can have different rules, so being clear about how you use AI helps you stay within those expectations and avoid any issues with academic integrity. It's also important to understand and trust when you're honest about your use of AI. It builds trust between you and your instructor because they know the work you're submitting is still your own. It also shows that you understand how to use technology responsibly. Overall, transparency helps create a fair learning environment and encourages students to use AI in a way that supports their learning instead of misusing it. But how do you set these boundaries to be able to use AI ethically? When it comes to setting these boundaries for AI, one of the most important things is to write your own draft first. You want your ideas and structure to come from you, and then you can use AI afterward to help clean things up, like grammar or sentence clarity. Another big boundary is to only use AI for support tasks, like proofreading, grammar, readability, and not having it generate full paragraphs or complete your full assignment. You also want to make sure you're reviewing everything AI suggests. It's not always accurate, and sometimes it can change the meaning of what you're trying to say. At the end of the day, you're responsible for the final version of your work. And lastly, it's important to be transparent and follow your class rules. If your instructor asks you to explain how you used AI, be honest about it. Every class can have different policies, so always check the guidelines and make sure you're staying within them. Now, some recommendations I have for future students is that I would recommend using AI as a support tool after you've already written your own draft. It's really important that your ideas and structure come from you first, and then you can use AI to clean things up. I'd also say to use AI for specific things like proofreading or making your writing clearer. Technical writing is all about being easy to understand, so AI can help simplify sentences or improve flow. Another big thing is to not blindly trust AI. Sometimes it gives suggestions that don't quite match what you mean or even changes the meaning completely. So always go back and double check everything to make sure it still sounds like you and says what you want it to mean. It also helps to set boundaries for yourself. For example, you might decide that you'll only use AI for grammar and not for generating ideas. Having those limits makes it easier to stay on track and not rely on it too much. And of course, make sure you're following your instructor's rules and being honest about how you use AI. All right, to wrap it up, thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation. I hope this gave you a better understanding of how AI can be used in a responsible and ethical way in technical writing. These are the following citations that I used. Thank you.